Elden Ring's Night Rain hasn't even been out yet. I have not even played it yet, and so have plenty of gamers. Never ever trust Metacritic, ever, when it comes to video games. Never ever trust them. This is why I tell people, you got to play games for yourself to see what they are, and then you decide. It's like they're taking the power away from you before you can even play it, and they try to play judge, jury, and executioner when it comes to video games. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your processes work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Hey, listen to this. Elden Ring Night Rain Metacritic scores set it as lowest score from software game in 7 years, and ties a 25-year-old PS2 platformer nobody's remember, but that's before the multiplayer buff sets in. Never ever trust Metacritics. Alright, I'm gonna get into this in a minute. Listen to this. Says here the lowest scored from software game is still better than most other games. And then it says Elden Ring Night Rain's Metacritic score is in, and while it's the lowest reviewed from software score in years, that's still a very high bar to clear. Elden Ring Night Rain Metacritic score currently sits at 78. That matches up exactly with its PS5 score, although PC scores sit a little higher at 81. A more PS5 review means the average will skew slightly lower. Clearly, that's a pretty solid score, but it's not one that matches up particularly closely with From Software recent effort. It says Elden Ring itself, for instance, boasts a 96. Shadows of the Erdtree sits little lower, while Armored Core 6 is in the low to mid 80s. Depending on platform, Sekiro sits around in the high 80s, low 90s bracket. Every major Soulsborne game has a score of at least 85. By contrast, the Elden Ring Night Rain Metacritic score of 78 might be a little disappointing, but it's worth remembering that it's still pretty solid launch amid almost generational run of an amazing title. A re-release and a VR exclusive aside, you've got to go back to 2013 Armored Core verdict to find out a major From Software release that scored less than 80 on Metacritic. And then it says here, Elden Ring Night Rain Metacritic score has been matched by 2 other From Software games. Not only the studio of Dark Fantasy and Massive Mechs in 2000, it puts out the adventures of Cookie and Creams, a couch co-op spin on Crash Bandicoot style platform. In the same year, it netted the same score, Armored Core, which I did argue has a more impressive legacy, but either way, Night Rain in some interesting company. In our own Elden Ring Night Rain review, Will said that it was an uncharacteristical, frantic take on Elden Ring's experience, and that's the Souls-like element that have been replaced by surprisingly competent roguelike component. The suggestions that Night Rain is Elden Ring's that arguably is most brutal. It's a little worrying, but I'm certainly still keen to dive in. And that is that. Never ever trust Metacritic. The game ain't even out yet. I think the game comes out on the 30th of this month, within another 2 days. A lot of people haven't even played it yet. Me, I haven't even finished Elden Rings or the Shadows of the Erdtree expansion, and I haven't even played Night Rain. But to tell me that the game scores a 78, I'm not buying it one bit. I'm not buying it one bit. I'm not buying it. You know, it used to be, you know, when we used to do game score reviews, it used to be, you know, people would have to play a whole bunch of people would have to play the game first, and then send in their their thoughts and opinion. But now Metacritic seems like they want to take the power away from the players, to where what they say in the scores, like what they say about the score really matters. Well, the players got something to say about it. I haven't even played the game yet, and I don't believe that game sits at a 78. I believe it's higher than that. I believe it's higher than that. What people are getting confused with Elden Rings, you have to compare it to like Dungeons and Dragons, Towers of Doom, and Shadows of Mysteria. That's what you compare it to. You don't compare it to like Elden Rings, the single player, the Elden Rings, and then Shadows of the Erdtree. Night Rain is more of like of a Dungeons and Dragon, Tower of Doom, Shadows of Mysteria. What's another game I can think of here? Kind of like King of the Dragon, Knights of the Round. It's in that category. You can't compare it to the story-driven based Elden Ring, and that's where the problem lies. And this is what Metacritic did. They tried to compare it to the actual physical game. This is more of like a arcade style Dungeons and Dragon Tower of Doom, and Shadows of Mysteria, Knights of the Round, King of the Dragon, Golden Axe. That's where Night Rain. That's where Night Rain falls. Okay, it doesn't fall into the actual Elden Ring. It's a part of the Elden Ring. It's part of the Elden Ring universe, but it plays different than the actual game itself. So that's where Metacritic got it messed up, you know. And it used to be, now, like I said before, we would play a game first and then we would send in our thoughts and opinions. But Metacritic now want to play the game first and then try to ruin the game for the players before they can even play it and find out what's wrong with the game, what's wrong with it, what it needs, and etc., etc. You know, so you with Night Rain, you have to play this game for yourself. Now, one thing I will say that From Software need to do, they need to have a one-player co-op, one-player mode, two-player mode, three-player mode, four-player mode, like how Dungeons and Dragons Shadows of Mysteria was, or like how Golden Axe was, or like how Knights of the Round was. You know, the game need that one player. You know, you can play by yourself, play with a friend, one of your friends, two of your friends, or three of your friends. You know, in a four-player game, offline or online. You know, where four people, like three of your other friends can, like, you can play the game like, okay, offline. You know, you can play by yourself, play with one person, play with the next person, play with a third person. So now you have all four bases covered. But now, if another person, let's say you and your three other friends want to play, then you know, you want to play online, you can have like a four-player like online only match. I say that's what that game probably needs. But to say that the game is a low 78, I'm not buying it, and I don't trust Metacritic when it comes to review scores, because I have to play the game. I don't want them to play the game for me. I want to play the game for myself to see what the game is really about. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. You know. But don't take the power away from me, from where I go to the store. The game ain't even out yet. And then all of a sudden I go to, you put your negative review out there, and all of a sudden that takes the power away from me from me even playing the game. And that's the problem I have with Metacritic. The same could be said for like when YouTubers were getting mad at say Anthem. A lot of them were doing fake rants and fake reviews, and then when I play the game, I'm like, oh, okay, so this game just needs to be a little bit more open. And I would say that's about it, and some expansions. That's what the game really needs, you know. And well, from YouTubers that see try to cover Anthem, it's like they were enjoy playing the game, but at the same time they were tearing it down to where only the person that was playing the game can enjoy it, but then you, the viewer, can't enjoy it by yourself. So when it comes to video games, man, you have to play these games by yourself, you know, to even enjoy them, man. Because a lot of these reviews, I don't even trust it. You know, I don't even trust a lot of reviews, you know, because when it comes to the Avengers, like take the Avengers for a minute. I would say Crystal Dynamics should have never ran from the game. That's one. They should have never ran from it. Two, they should have made the game more open. They should have looked at DC Universe and said, okay, you know what? We need to put the game like this way, this way, and then build some, add some DLCs and some update to it. They should have never ran from it. But that's just me saying this. But other than that, man, I wouldn't trust Metacritic on this, because I got a video here. It's about 44 minutes long, top. And it's gameplay of Elden Ring Night Reigns. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. But to say the game is a 78 and then you're trying to compare it, it's like it's a 3-player hack and slash, but you're trying to compare it to the base game. That's just wrong. So I'm not buying this. I'm not buying it. That's just me. I'm not buying their score of what they gave it here. What's this? What kind of score they gave this? If I can go back here. Let's see if I can go back here. 78. I'm not buying it. I think it's higher than that. You know, I think it's really higher than that. So I don't trust Metacritic. Neither should you. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy it. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Board, Go. Peace.